NASCAR put $1 million on the table, brought its best drivers to Delaware, and somehow still managed to make the All-Star Race feel like just another ordinary Sunday. And the wildest part? Even the guy who won the race admitted he had no idea when it actually started. Let's back up a little. The NASCAR All-Star Race is supposed to be the fun one. No championship points on the line, just the top drivers, a big cash prize, and a chance to put on a show. This year was the 42nd running of the event, and it landed at Dover Motor Speedway for the very first time. Dover is a 1-mile concrete oval nicknamed the Monster Mile, and it has a reputation for chewing up race cars. But here's where the trouble started. The All-Star Race has never really had a permanent home. It lived at Charlotte for over 30 years. Then it bounced to North Wilkesboro from 2023 through 2025, and now Dover. The reason it landed here is kind of awkward. North Wilkesboro got a real points race in 2026, so NASCAR needed somewhere else to stick the All-Star Race. Dover lost its normal spring points race to make room for it. So, instead of a points race, Dover fans got the exhibition as a trade. NASCAR also rolled out a brand new format, and honestly, this is where things got messy. Stick with me, because it's a lot. The whole race was 350 laps, split into 3 segments. Qualifying changed too. Drivers ran a few laps that included a real pit stop, and the total time decided the starting order. The fastest pit crew won something called the Pit Crew Challenge. Zane Smith's team won that with a 12 and 6-second stop and earned a $100,000 bonus. Then there's the part that upset a lot of longtime fans. NASCAR killed the All-Star Open. For years, the Open was a separate race that let drivers fight their way into the main event. Fans loved it. It was one of the best parts of the whole weekend. This year, it was gone. Instead, all 36 cars started together and ran 2 7.5-lap segments. After the first segment, the top 26 cars got flipped around for the second one. Then the field got cut to 26 drivers for the final 200-lap segment, and only that last part actually counted as the official race. 19 drivers were locked in automatically. 6 more had to earn their way in, and 1 spot went to a fan vote winner. If you're confused right now, that's the point. Casual fans were lost. The drivers could feel something was off before the race even began. Chase Elliott, the 2020 champion, said it plainly during Media Day. "This feels like a normal weekend," he said. He went on, "I would say this feels the least like an All-Star weekend that we've ever had in my career." Then he added something that really stung. "It's just blah, and I hate that. I hate that for our sport. I hate that for the fans." Bubba Wallace felt the same way. The energy and excitement that usually surrounds the All-Star Race just was not there. So, the race finally went green at 1 in the afternoon, under the sun, with temperatures in the high 80s. And it took almost no time for chaos to hit. On just the second lap, drivers were running 3 wide off turn 4. Ryan Preece came down the track into Todd Gilliland, and everything fell apart. Cars got tangled, Kyle Larson bounced off the wall, and Preece got spun around backwards. He slammed into the turn 1 wall hard, and because his car was full of fuel, it burst into flames. That's a very rare thing to see in these cars. Thankfully, Preece climbed out fine. 9 cars got caught in that one wreck, including big names like Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Daniel Suarez. After he got checked out, Preece took the blame. "I thought I was going to be able to clear, and obviously I didn't," he said. "That's my fault, and I'm sorry to whoever got caught up in that." You'd think one 9-car wreck was enough for one segment. It wasn't. With just 3 laps left in that first segment, Riley Herbst got loose, Alex Bowman tagged him, and another 9-car crash broke out on the front straightaway. Chase Elliott and John Hunter Nemechek got hit in both wrecks. Bubba Wallace ended up winning that first segment, but the segment finished under caution. The second segment was calmer, but not clean. Ross Chastain and Brad Keselowski crashed on lap 6, and Chastain's day was done. Tyler Reddick, the most dominant driver of the 2026 season, drove up front and won that one. Now, here's the real problem. By the time the main 200-lap segment started, the race had already destroyed half its stars. 11 of the 19 drivers who were locked into the final segment had been in a crash. Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain had so much damage they couldn't even take the green flag for the final segment. So, officially, they aren't even counted as having competed in the 2026 All-Star Race. Think about that. Fans paid money to see their favorite drivers, and many of those drivers were knocked out before the part that mattered. One fan summed up the anger perfectly online, saying this was not an all-star race, it was an all-charter race. The point being, just because a driver has a spot in the field doesn't make him an all-star. The final segment did have a good battle. Denny Hamlin and his teammate Chase Briscoe ran up front and traded the lead. Tyler Reddick led for a while too, until a power steering problem ended his day. In the end, Hamlin passed Briscoe with 29 laps to go and never looked back. He won by under a second and took home the $1 million. It was his second career All-Star win, and at 45 years old, he's the second oldest driver to ever win it. There was a touching moment after. Hamlin said he'd give the money to his mom. That hits differently when you know he lost his father in December in a house fire. But even Hamlin, the winner, criticized the event. The format confused him so much that he asked NASCAR officials a simple question. Is it going to have 36 cars, or is it going to have 26? He asked, talking about the results sheet. Then he laughed and said, I think we should know when the All-Star race starts. The other big complaint was the length. This thing dragged on for nearly 4 hours. An All-Star race is supposed to be a quick, fun sprint. Runner-up Chase Briscoe said it best. Felt like I was running the Coke 600, he told reporters. The race was made that long on purpose, so Dover fans wouldn't feel cheated out of laps. But it turned a fun exhibition into something that felt like a long practice session. There was also the empty seats. Dover holds about 54,000 people now, way down from over 135,000 back in the early 2000s. NASCAR never gave an official number, but it looked like there were at least 10,000 empty seats. Now, to be fair, not everyone agreed. Some fans said the parking lots were packed, and the crowd was the best Dover had seen in years, so that part is genuinely up for debate. And here's the strange twist. The actual racing at Dover was good. Really good. NASCAR ran a new package with more horsepower and less downforce, and many called it the best racing Dover has seen in over a decade. The problem is that great racing got buried under a confusing format and a broken event. So what should NASCAR do now? Hamlin had a clear answer. First thing is, let's give Dover their points race back, he said. And then let's figure out where we're going to go, and then figure out the format. A lot of fans want it simple. Take the All-Star race back to Charlotte, run it under the lights at night, bring back the Open, and make the main event short again. The bottom line is this.